Hello again, everyone. Another subject I thought I would quickly brief on after having chemo slash during chemo is periods. Okay, so this is obviously for anyone who has a period out there. I'm going to talk about it in regards to having chemo. So I am at the ripe old age of 41 years old, almost 42. And I was told that I could possibly, I was told at the beginning of the chemo that I'd possibly go into early menopause or a chemical induced menopause, I should say. And that at my age, they might never come back, or possibly that they would. So as I mentioned in a previous video, my friend Amy, hers have come back. She's 10 years younger than me. And mine have come back. So basically, I would say after I had my first infusion of chemo, I had one normal period, and I thought that that was going to carry on. I thought, oh, my periods have not been affected. But after that one period, after the first chemo, they just stopped. I didn't have a period for 9 months, and not going to lie, that was glorious. Because I will honestly say that going through chemo and all that, and then having to deal with a period at the same time would have been quite rubbish. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that I've got endometriosis, so my periods can be quite heavy, and I get a really bad flare up of sciatica. So yeah, I was very grateful that I didn't have them. I still had some symptoms of periods, but pretty much never thought, oh my god, I'm going to come on. Anyway, that was all throughout last year. January the 1st, 2025, lo and behold, so I had my last chemo on October 14th, so it's November, December, January. So 3 months later, not even, I came on my first period, and I was a little bit shocked, to be honest. I mean, I had a feeling, oh, sorry about the camera, had a feeling I may come back, but not that quickly, because a lot of people say that you might not get a period for 2 years. Again, keep in mind, I may not have gotten one at all due to my age. Not that I'm old, but I'm at the age where perimenopausal will come into play anyway. Yeah, so I was a bit shocked. But the periods are very odd now. So even though I've got endometriosis, I used to be very regular with them prior to the cancer treatment. So I would come on pretty much every 3 weeks, like clockwork. I had an app just to track them, and it would always be even on the day. So it was quite easy to just plan, things around my period, like a holiday or anything like that, because, I'd know when I would come on. That's definitely changed. Actually, I would say 2 months before being diagnosed with cancer, actually, my periods were a little bit odd. So I don't know if that was anything to do with the cancer itself or just coincidence. But I do remember once being 17 days late. And finding that really odd because, like I said, I'd been otherwise very regular. So yeah. Anyway, so January 1st, I started my period, but it was very light. So it lasted a few days. That was it. The second period I had started about 2 and a bit weeks after, which was insane. I've never come on that quickly, and it was heavy. Yeah, very heavy. And I thought, whoa, I've come back with a vengeance. But at least I still thought, okay, well, I'm still regular. It's just kind of pre chemo days. So yeah, heavy, but like it used to be. And then I didn't have anything for about a month. And then it was kind of like, this might be a bit TMI, but I think it's important to know. But then when I did have a period, it would only be basically when I peed. as opposed to, say, having anything on my sanitary towel, etc. So I thought, oh God, they're practically non-existent. And then it would be like that for the next few. So I don't think I've ever really properly skipped one since. But well, actually, that's a lie, because I remember 1 month feeling every symptom and thinking that it would come on, but nothing really happened again, just when I peed. And that's important to note because, it's quite different. So anyway, let's fast forward to this one now. I'm a week late again, so I'm very irregular. So I was 3 weeks. Sorry, the first one I started 2.5 weeks after. Then a whole month went by. Then I think 5 weeks went by. Now I'm a week late, so I'm never gonna know when I'm due on anymore, and it's really crap in that sense. But it's like extremely heavy this month, like, wow, more so than in the past. Now I don't know if this is pretty much like a menopausal type one, because like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm perimenopausal. I know that I 100% went into the chemical menopause during chemo. And so, yeah, I just thought I would let you know, for anyone wondering what will happen during chemo to their periods. Now, everyone is obviously different, and it does also depend on your age. But a lot of ladies will stop their period completely. Some people even have it heavier whilst on chemo. That's quite rare from what I saw in the cancer group that I was in, but it is possible. And then you could be like me, lucky enough to like have them stop but come back afterwards. Now, I would say that I wouldn't care if they never came back again. Who would? But at the same time, I'm semi grateful that they have, because it means that my body has regulated again and is going back to normal pre chemo days. And I think that's quite important as well. So you know that your body is going back into some form of balance. So for that reason I'm happy, but for the other reasons I'm not happy, because obviously who wants to have them. But I remember as well, you get offered a well, with TNBC, I should say, you get offered some other tests to see if it's linked to ovarian cancer, if it's genetic. Luckily, that mine wasn't, which meant that I didn't need to have my ovaries removed. I actually did say to my oncologist at the time, although I haven't tested positive for the gene, could I still have my ovaries removed, because I'm not planning on having children for personal reasons, especially now. Not planning on having children, and because of the endometriosis, I thought it would make sense. But she said no, because she said that they don't like removing healthy tissue, or healthy organs, whatever you want to call it. Well, it's not an organ, is it? Or is it? I don't know. I'm so bad with science. Anyway. But also, she said that if you remove the ovaries, in general, that you could go into osteoporosis, because that is what happens to women when they've gone through menopause, basically. Our bones will start to kind of degenerate and, hurt. So she was not wanting to go down that route. So I am happy not to have had that, because I don't want to have more pain. However, I feeling how I do today, and I'm just like, oh my God, crikey, what a difference it is to have a period again. I love the days I didn't have one. But yeah, so let me know, anyone who has ever had chemo, how your body has regulated or not regulated. Does it ever go back to normal, like a pattern? Is this it now? Am I always going to just be unsure when I'm going to come on? It's interesting to know, but I thought I would just give you my update with my body and how it's reacted. Okay, take care.